Sierra Leone decides 2023. Well, after 3 weeks of negotiations and meetings after being elected, the All People's Congress Party presidential candidate and leader, Dr. Samuel Kamara, announced Honorable Cherno Ramadan Majuba, fondly known as Cherikuku, as his running mate for the June 24th elections. Immediately after the leader made it known to the executive and NAC members, Honorable Cherno Ba was called to take the oath as the deputy leader of the party. After the oath-taking ceremony, Honorable Ba told members of the party that winning the June 24th elections starts now, as every member of the party must put hands on deck for them to work as a team to save the people of Sierra Leone. 11 members, 5 women and 6 men of the party were interested in the running mates, including Madina Rahman, Diana Konomani, Yvonne Akisoya, Susan Bona, Alhaji Kamara, fondly known as Jagaban, Dr. Kelfala Mara, and Chief Alhaji Samuel Sam Sumana. But Honorable Cherno Ba emerged as the candidate for the second election in a row. But tongues are waging about the Kono votes, whether Diana Konomani and Sam Sumana been left out. The significance of the Kono vote is no different from the previous ones. Dr. Anes Baikroma chose Konoman as his running mate in the name of Samuel Sam Sumana as the APC vice presidential candidate in the 2007 and 2012 elections. He got the vote and won the elections. Geographically, Sierra Leone is divided into eastern, northern, and southern provinces and the western area. The 2 major political parties in Sierra Leone both have their strong political basis since the history of elections in Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone People's Party maintains a strong base in the southeast, with the exception of Kono District, a cosmopolitan settlement, but primarily inhabited by the Kono people. On the other hand, the All People's Congress Party enjoys its political support mainly in the northern province and the western region. Looking at the brief political geography outlined above, the 2 major political parties, the Sierra Leone People's Party and the All People's Congress, tend to enjoy or share equal support in their respective strongholds, the APC in the north and the west, and the SLPP in the south and east, except Kono District. Well, in other words, when each party maintains its strong base, the votes tend to balance out evenly. This helps to explain the significance of the Kono vote, which is crucial in deciding the political party that eventually wins the presidential election, according to pundits. Tonight, with Diana Konomani and Sam Sumana out, and defections and realignment favoring the SLPP in that part of the country, it begs the question, which party gets the Kono votes in the June 24th polls? My name is Samuel Weisbanger, and this is AYV on Sunday. All right, good evening and a very warm welcome to AYV on Sunday here on AYV Television on Channel 33 and DSTV Channel 399, on Radio FM 101.7 and on all our different social media platforms. But you can always contribute because we do value your contributions. Share them with us on the AYV News Facebook page. We would find time to go through some of them in the course of the conversation. As always, we bring people who we believe are some of the leading lights within the governance architecture to help us shape the topics that we come up with. And in tonight's edition, I mentioned we're looking at the selection of Honorable Cherno Ramadan Majuba as the running mate to Dr. Samuel Matthew Wilson Kamara of the APC, and what does that mean for securing the Kono votes. I have on my panel Dr. Idris Mahmoud Tarawali, a political science lecturer at the University of Sierra Leone, from a college precisely. Good evening and welcome to the show, Doc.
Good evening. Thanks for having me, Samuel.
Right, I have the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the Opposition All People's Congress Party, Mohammed Pope Kamara. Mohammed, good evening.
Good evening and thanks for having me.
All right, I have Theophilus Sa Binda, a political and social commentator and also a media analyst. Sir, good evening and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to start off with you, Pope, for obvious reasons. What specifically were or are the features of Cherikuku that gave Dr. Samuel Kamara the thoughts, the power that says to just choose him amongst 11 members who expressed interest in the running mates?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me state very clearly that the 2022 constitution of the APC made it very clear in Article 57, that is nomination of vice president, that the presidential candidate shall, upon consultation and approval of the National Advisory Committee, choose his running mate. So it simply means it's an individual decision before coming to NAC. You understand? And you could recall, there is this belief in the APC that the APC, we do not lose the 2018 elections. We have our opinion, that's why we petitioned it, and we still have that belief that we did not lose it. And the tickets that in our belief that won that election was the Dr. Samura Kamara and the Cherry Coco ticket.
So in essence, just out of curiosity, you did not accept defeat as a party?
Well, maybe you will say out of curiosity, out of our belief, and based on how we perform, based on the numerical strength that we, and based on the IRF forms that we gathered, we knew very well that that elections was taken away from us. But we looked at the records that we have when the former president and Esbai Kurma was in governance. We have a record for peace. And I think it is incumbent upon us as a party to ensure we maintain that peace. So it is, first of all, let it be known that it is the prerogative of the presidential candidate to choose his running mate.
But were there considerations taken, for him to have made that choice?
Yeah, there is this consideration which we refer to one party consideration, the consideration of other people, the thoughts of other people. But what is his consideration, trust me, I think it will be the only one independent enough to state why I decided
So there were no consultations, no negotiations.
That is why it was a NAC, a consultation with NAC. And when NAC consults, you understand, it does not go down. But there are these views that I will share with you. One among them, we looked at what we refer to as generational consideration. You understand? And if we have a person in the personality of Dr. Samura Kamara with such wealth of experiences, we need someone that will also fit in with the 21st century generational thoughts and ideas, and that is exactly where we see Cherry Coco.
So you're blending the old and the new.
Fine, thank you. That is exactly where we see Cherry Coco fits in. That is one. Then two, we look at three other key areas. We look at experience, we look at humility, and we looked at qualifications. Cherry Coco is that humble character that understands the political landscape of this country. It has been manifested because he has spent 15 years in the well of parliament. I think that is a clear indication that he understands the political demography of our country, because everything around our country is shrouded within the well of parliament, and you know everything. And not just that, if not the most populated region, but the second most, that is exactly where Cherry Coco is coming from. That is Western region, which is very key and very important. And also, we must note that for you to have a vice president or running mate, that person must fit in to be president at any time. In essence, he has served as deputy speaker of the well of parliament. He has served as leader of opposition. So he now knows the pros and cons between governance and not being in governance. You understand? He has also been a member of the ECOWAS parliament. So with all this expertise and with this experience, these are all considerations, you understand? That's why, but above all, for us, the APC, the general membership, the APC, we believe it is destiny, because APC is a party of faith and belief.
With all of these features you've mentioned, Mohammed, going by the official pronouncement of the 2018 elections, that very team lost the elections to the BO and Jules, the team in 2018.
Except you did not get me well.
Well, that is why I said according to official declaration, not the belief of the APC.
Well, we still, as I'm sitting here, I am sitting here with our belief
That you
based
did,
on our performance,
that you did not lose
based
the
on
election.
our performance for 10 years.
You did not lose the election.
At all.
Okay.
That is our belief. And we stick by it, and we look forward to that same
All right.
ticket to give us the victory 2022.
Sir, let me hear you on the selection of Honorable Chelno Ba as the running mate for to Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara. I mean, going back by 2018, it's the same team, and they lost, according to the pronouncement by the National Electoral Commission, then NEC. They lost to Bio and Julde, and at the end of the day, we saw what happened. Like he's saying, they did not accept the results. They did not accept defeats that they lost the election as a party. But there were 11 of them in the race. Cheikoko appeared to have been the favorite after being selected by Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara. So what gives him, that edge? What puts him in a better position over the others?
Yes, I've listened to my brother. He spoke well, but I will go to another level to say that Cheikoko, is just a lucky guy. He's just a lucky guy. He happens to have benefited from the overwhelming popularity the Fullers are gaining in our local politics. Okay, so I will say that the Fuller consideration, played a great part in it all, right? You see, we should take note of this. You know, the Mendes are like 32%, the Timnis are like 31%, and then you have the Fullers, you have so. My brother Pope might disagree, but the Fuller consideration played a huge part in Cheikoko becoming, the favorite candidate for the running mate position of the APC. Because, the reason why the SPP, for instance, maintained Jude Jallo is because of mainly because of his Fuller connection. Right? And so had the APC done the other thing, gone the other way around, it will have militated against them so much.
Are you saying it's only the tribal card that's played a role in the selection of the running mates for the two parties?
It's played a very serious role. I don't want to go again to what he has said already. I'm just going to another dimension.
Do you not take region into consideration? Do you also not take character and competence of the two individuals who've been selected as running mates, both Jude Jallo and Chelno Ramadan Majuba?
Yeah, we cannot talk about all of that. I will just focus on what I said about the Fuller, about the Fuller connection, right? There is this talk around that had the APC gone the other way to choose another person, the Fullers will have migrated wholesome to the SPP. And so to maintain the balance, was in the view of many people, the main reason why Cheikoko was considered, because there were other names coming up.
I'm tempted to ask this question. I have seen over time the elections I have witnessed or covered, or say why we've covered over time. We've been able to realize that no political party can actually win a national election with just the support of its tribal kingsmen. So with the APC, if what you're saying is anything to go by, taking the tribal card into consideration for choosing Honorable Chelno Ba as running mate, is that in itself a choice for winning?
Well, in their view, it will help them greatly. In their view, it will help them greatly. Of course, we cannot talk about competence because we all know Cheikoko is competent. As he said, he has been in the House of Parliament for 15 years. He has served in various capacities. Now he's leader of the opposition. So that gives him all the maturity needed, to handle the highest office, of the land, even, right? So that is so. Even the other guys who came up are also equally very competent. Although some of them just came up, because they said, okay, we want to make ourselves relevant, right? Because we have some people who just came up, into the race for the flag bearership of the APC, for instance, just because they want to make themselves very important figures.
But there are notable names, sir. There are notable names. Yeah. You take into consideration even Akisoya, who was served as mayor of Freetown Municipality, Madina Rahman, who served as deputy minister of health, You have Diana Konomani, who served, I think, in two different ministries under former President Nkrumah. Alhaji Samuel Samsumana, who served as Vice President of the Republic. Dr. Kaifala Mara also served as minister under the former president. Yeah. And Bona, who in fact also who also contested for the flag bearership of the party. Yeah. So these are names that speak volume to obtaining political power under the previous regime.
I agree, but please take Samsumana out. Yes, because amongst all those you've mentioned, he was actually disqualified, right?
From standing to be elected.
As flag bearer of the
exactly,
APC.
But I don't know if that precludes him from being selected as a running mate.
No, we are talking about I want to focus on the key issue on the floor.
Go ahead.
Right? I would say not everybody who aspires to be president is a presidential material. Some of them you can easily dismiss them as not being serious. Right? They just want to, like I said earlier, they just want to make themselves relevant.
Do you have names amongst those who are in the race?
I don't want to attempt to make names.
Go ahead.
Right, because I am representing my own personal opinion here.
Sure.
But if you want to, I can easily name names.
I mean, we're looking at the different people.
It should not be so decent.
Right.
Right? Yeah, it should not be so decent. Right? But what I am saying is that, the fact of the matter is that much as qualification, much as experience, much as all of this played a part, but I tell you that the fuller connection also played a part, and we should not ignore that fact.
All right. Let me bring Dr. Tagowale in. Doc, the question I would love to ask is, when that choice was being made to appoint or to select Honorable Bass running mate to Dr. Samora Kamara, what were, in your estimation, what do you think were the things that should have been considered? Because you take a look at how politics is being practiced now in Sierra Leone. We're seeing the gender card also playing a very crucial and critical role as to where should people go in, where should people lean, where should people vote in and support and all of that. And we saw quite a few women, showed interest in that post, but were left out. And Chei Koko, who was there in 2018, again, got the seats. What were in your estimation, do you think were considered?
All right, few things. Let me start with a couple of things. So first, Pope and his party and his team are better placed to explain their decision.
Right.
What I'll provide here is an academic analysis supported by freely available evidence.
Go ahead.
Right? So I totally respect him on Article 57 of the APC Constitution, which says the presidential candidate will select his running mates upon consultation. So that's entirely the responsibility of Dr. Samora Kamara.
Right.
But there are a few things he did not mention which are critical in selecting a running mate.
Go ahead.
It's value addition. Because the overarching objective is to win the elections, right? And so if you have a running mate, what value does that running mate add to the ticket for you to win? It's about electability. Right?
Right.
So that's the bottom line. Another thing you can consider is loyalty. And people don't talk about it, but it's very critical in African politics. Can you go to bed and sleep that your vice president will not undermine you? And I don't want to go back to what happened in the previous regime. You want to be sure that this man or woman is entirely loyal to the presidential candidate. You can fly out of the country. Your vice president will serve the interest of the country and your interest as presidential candidate. Another consideration is also issues of around the way presidency works in Sierra Leone. You are expected to be engaging in far more wider international issues. And your vice president should be deeply rooted
at the local level.
At the local level. So you need someone who is deeply rooted within the political, within the system. But let me challenge Pope on a few things. I think the APC shot itself. They clouded their path to victory by appointing Chairman Majuba as the vice presidential running mate. The facts are there. In a bad time, when the APC performs badly, they get about 58-60% of the votes in the Western area. And this is a region dominated largely by people of northern extraction who will vote APC anyways. So you go to Kalbata, you go to Kisi Road. These are all people, if you check them, from Putloko, Cambia, Makeni, of northern extraction. Go to Abacha Street. Just say, people will answer you. Right?
Right.
So you don't, appointing a Westerner does not necessarily improve your chances of winning the elections. And I'll give you facts.
Go ahead, because I have a question about whether we should take regions into consideration.
One.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is why I'll also challenge Theo. On, well, not challenge. I like his point that there was a fuller consideration.
Right.
At any time you consider the tribe versus the region, people versus territory, you lose the elections. The last time a northerner of the APC, a northerner, had contested election and appointed another northerner or someone from the western region, they've all lost. And Escoma did in 2002, he brought a fuller, also of western area and northern extraction. They lost. I respect his position about the APC not losing. That's the APC's position. They've gone to court. That's not for me to say. As an academic, 2018, the same ticket contested the elections and they lost.
The North and the West.
The North and the West, and they lost. That's very clear. What you then need is, what do we require to win these elections? I think the APC banked on nationwide disaffection on issues around the cost of living crisis. And these are all very valid points. Cost of living crisis, increasing prices of commodities, fuel, and general state of poverty, right? They banked on it, that this will mobilize anger in what we call in politics anger agency, that people will be mobilized and vote. What they miss is there is a territorial consideration in when you are deciding elections. And for 2023, two districts
which
will determine, this will be Kono and Cambia. And I'll explain that for you in a second. One, by all indication, and with respect to those political parties, I'm only doing an academic analysis.
I would love all the specifics for the districts, for the Kono and Cambia. Let me just ask you this question. When you talk about regional considerations, let's go back. So you look at the SLPP tickets, it's the South and the North.
Yes.
And we've seen the inroads Chulde made in the North, giving the SLPP some votes there. And that's, you go to the APC, you just mentioned in 2018, the same ticket they've presented, they lost because already you've taken a candidate from a region that you know, even if you don't campaign, you have at least 50% of the vote in that.
No APC candidates, sorry, no APC supporter in the Western area will refuse to vote for the APC.
Right.
Because Cherdno was not appointed as vice presidential candidate. None.
So it's a secured region already.
It's a secured region. What the APC needs to do is to ramp up voter turnout. If you get an 85% voter turnout and drive the support to maybe, it is really possible, 65, 70% of the votes, and go to Kono, right? And win Kono. Let me just explain a few things.
Go ahead, let me allow you.
The 2023 election will be won and lost in two districts, Kono and Cambia.
Okay.
Right? And the reasons why Kono and Cambia are very critical are this. In 2018, you have the C4C in Kono. And in same 2018, you have NGC in Cambia. Right?
Right.
These two parties are all but gone now. I assure you. They are all but gone. Right? The mayor of Kwedu City has declared for SLPP.
Right.
And the only party that is consolidated in Kono district. So there are 4 factions in Kono. You have C4C, right? C4C led by Salamina, right? You have Akune. Akune is the movement supporting former Vice President Sam Sumana. Then the APC is fractured into 2. You have the traditional loyal APC led by Diana Konomani, and those members of the APC who still believe that Chief Sam Sumana should continue. So they are part APC, part Akune, right? So those are the 4 camps. The only consolidated camp there is the SLPP. And the Salamina camp and all those other people are more likely, I'm not saying they've gone,
are lining themselves.
Are more likely to line up. So a disintegration of C4C in Kono will benefit largely the SLPP than the APC. And the danger of the APC not choosing a running mate from Kono is far-reaching. So how this will happen?
Can I hold you on that? I'll bring you back in just right after this clip. I want us to take a story that Bokari Matia did. You know, when the Kono people stormed the house of Diana Konomani in Freetown, after what they said, we've heard that you've not been considered, no son or daughter from Kono has been considered for the running mate position. So Chief Alhaji Samuel Samsumana was in that meeting. Diana Konomani was in that meeting. They listened to what the Kono people had to say. In fact, Mokaba was also amongst those who went to Diana Konomani and Chief Samuel Samsumana. Let's join Bokari Matia quickly, and we'll be right back.
We're not a fool to be fooled by a fool. They use we forget my own logo. Yes. They will enjoy ourselves. They will not run a grass house. Yes. Why? They say why have a long tail? And that long tail, why have? Madam Filadana Konomani, we dey wait for you now.
But to come for ask you this, if now you agree to this statement, be we for make it send and back say we as Kono youth them, we ready for stand by with party, but if they left we behind, we will send out a message. Yes. And that message will spread out outside.
We are sending a salient threat. The one the other they say not to threat, me and tell them say we are sending a salient threat to Freetown. Yes. And we are piling pressure on Freetown. That Kono will matter.
Yes.
Eastern region will matter.
Of course, yeah.
Southeast will matter. Yes. So the word for the wise is quite.
Those were district executives of the All People's Congress Party in Kono District after over a 4-hour journey to converge at the residence of the former Minister of Lands, Diana Konomani, in Freetown. Speaker after speaker highlighted that the party has abandoned the district and the marginalization, if not addressed, will cost the party greatly. The meeting also marked the squash of the discord between Diana Konomani and former Vice President Chief Samuel Samsumana. Responding to the concerns raised by party members from Kono District, former Minister of Lands Diana Konomani assured that she and the former Vice President will adequately inform the people of Kono soon on the outcome of their inquiry and concerns.
So we want the world to know, as Kono is fully represented here, when I not agree for no we can meet tonight, when a message don't reach. But trust me, we are both leaders in this country. Whatever we state out here today will be a policy statement. Yeah. And I want to believe that at the same, maybe what I will say, we don't get a message. As we sit here already, the world don't receive a message. And it don't go far. But we beg, because I know that the same people don't get for answer. We're not able for answer. But we can't come off of the answer. And we can't come pretty soon. Because we must get answer. Whatever it is, answer the comment. A good, a bad, a ugly, answer the comment. And then we go decide. I'm just saying, this is the fact, this is our politics. Whatever the answer, I want for a show now, that me and you two will decide on cannot reply together as a team.
Former Vice President Chief Samuel Samsumana spoke extensively on the renewed accord between him and Diana Konomani, while speaking in parables of what this new alliance means for Kono District in general.
From waiting, all the speakers then don't say, confirmed by my sister, and no say, this gathering, the world hear about it. But as we now know, we want for Camp Kono. One Camp Kono for explain to owner. But they don't allow we. Follow we go. You know what you do? They want to offend that to tell. Well, Chief Brewer, yeah, my small sister not be talk now. Where can they? Almost 10 in the pandemic. Mama, they go. Mama, they go. Mama, give me an also. But when they're 2 days together, we think it happen. No go shape Kono again.
Both Diana Konomani and Chief Samuel Samsumana have been rumored to be considered candidates for the running mate's position tag ticket with flag bearer Samura Matthew Wilson Kamara as the party braces for the June 24th multi-tier elections. Bokari Matia, AYV News, Freetown.
All right. Thank you very much, Bokari Matia, for putting that story together. So, Doc, here, there you have it.
You see those two people?
Right.
They've been literally, well, I would say fighting in a very literal term for years.
Right.
When it comes to the interest of Kono, they're
together.
They're ready to put soldiers to the wheel and push. And that's a demonstration to tell you. And people have asked questions, why other regions? From 1996, when we started our democratic journey, all tickets, all winning coalition have been either north-southern or south-northern. No northwestern ticket has ever won the election. Pakaba ran with Jodembi. Pakaba, Solomon Berewa. Aneskoma, Sam Sumana. Aneskoma, Sam Sumana. Even when Sam Sumana was, what happened, fired or whatever, he was replaced by Victor Bokorifo.
Right.
No ticket of this nature has ever won an election. And do you know the facts? The SLPP knows that the path, and I mentioned this to a couple of friends the other day, why, someone will argue why Kenema, for instance, why Kailau, why Moyamba are not agitating. They are equally important, but in the political history of Sierra Leone, we know those districts are not mathematically significant to allow APC victory, right? The only district in the southern region, in the eastern region, that can provide significant support, go back and look at history. 2007, when former Vice President Sam Sumana was appointed running mate, the APC got 35% of the votes on the first ballot. On the runoff, it went out to about 41, 42. In 2012, right, when they were already in power, that increased to about 70%. It drops to 20% in 2018, right? President Bio knows that there is a path to victory for the SLPP, and that path is Kono. He's been to Kono since 2023, 5 times. No president, apart from Aneskoma going to Makeni, what is his home district, no president has visited
Kono that much.
Kono that much. Because the SLPP knows if the C4C disintegrates and we take those votes, right, we are more likely to win this election.
Already that is happening. Like you mentioned, the defection of the sitting
What
mayor.
could have stemmed this, and this is what the APC needs to understand. If you are in opposition, you have 2 responsibilities.
Which are?
You have to defend your votes, protect your territory, right? Whilst creating a surge in the opposition stronghold. What the APC is struggling with now, first, there's an SLPP surge in Putloko, for instance. Julde has literally moved to Putloko and making a case that this is my home district. Therefore, come and support us, right? What the APC needs to do, especially in the era of PI, proportional representation. The last election, the APC got 10% of the votes in Bo. If the APC got the same now, they will not win a seat in Bo district. The calculation should be, how do we improve those votes to 10%? The last time they got 18 in Moyamba, when the APC is in power in 2018, right? They got 18% of the votes. The next question is, how can we improve our votes in Moyamba to take us to 24? That will guarantee us of 2 seats, right? So there is a pathway for the APC. The choice of a running mate has clouded that. What this would have done, I don't care who that person is, whether it was former Vice President Sam Sumana or Madam Diana Konomani, what that could have done is to match the SLPP and the efforts of President Bio in Kono toe-to-toe. And if I'd done that toe-to-toe, then you go to Cambia.
Where the NGC is.
Where the NGC is almost gone these days.
And again, we've also seen a pattern.
And the difference...
KKY is almost
gone to SLPP. But the difference between Kono and Cambia is this. The SLPP is not likely to be the biggest beneficiary of a disintegration of C4C, of NGC in Cambia. Because what happened in Cambia, there were serious disaffection. Strong people within the party, the APC, the petitos of this world, who were not active in the 2018 election. The strategy of the APC to winning election should be, first, we need a significant surge in Kono, protecting those votes in Kono. And the only way they could have protected that vote in Kono is to have a kind of person in that ticket, right? And then you bring in Petito in Cambia, right? In a strong way, providing leadership. And other, when I say Petito, I'm just calling him. There are other people. You bring a strong position there. What you do is, if the APC get 50% or 55% of the votes in Cambia, which is very likely if they put the right people to run the campaign, and have a Kono vice presidential candidate right in Kono, then you have a message to send to the people of Kono, right? And when you do that, you mobilize the Western area. You get people to vote, and you mobilize Potloko Tonkolili to vote. The possibility of the APC winning this election was almost clearer until they take a decision which is really...
Until the appointment of the running mate.
It's an own goal. They shot themselves on their foot, completely.
Mohammed, so it is clear, I mean, looking at what the Kono people have said,
Yes.
that is going to affect the APC, correct?
The truth of the matter is this. I'll try my level best as a politician not to rally around what the doctor have said so that I will not hurt my people in Kono. But rather, I will also be abundantly clear that what the doctor have just given is that which we refer to as, I will refer to it as a political analysis. An academic analysis.
Are they not based on happenings?
You understand? It's not
practice over time?
Analysis. In the first place, you had him just now. You understand? Let me repeat this, that as far as we are concerned, we did not lose the 2018 elections. And I stand by it. You understand? And I stand by it.
Until the court say otherwise, you believe that you lost.
Thank you very much. You understand? We stand by it. And now, he has given what we refer to as an academic analysis, and I want to respect that. But from our own political lens, we have a difference.
Are you saying, the analysis he has provided?
I want to be...
Are you saying the analysis he has provided, in practice, are these things not happening?
They are academics. Let me politicize.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. You understand? Now, looking at Kono, like he rightly mentioned, in 2007, you understand? We were unable to win Kono. You understand? But
Why?
we won the presidency.
Why?
In 2007, you understand? We had a Kono vice president, you understand? But we did not win Kono. We lose Kono. To a point, I don't want to say this, I don't want to go into this, because like I said, as a politician, I don't want to hurt, because I know the Konos are very important in our political arena. You understand? Just like any other district. For us, the APC, we do not consider a district above any other district.
So you are not taking districts or block into consideration?
The respect we have for Kailaun is the same respect we have for Western area, urban or rural. It's the same respect we have for Cambia. It's the same respect we have for Makeni, for Bombali. It's the same respect we have for Pujong, and so on and so forth. As a politician, we have equal respect for them. You understand? So, emphasizing on the Kono, you understand? They are very important. We agree. We can't take that away from them. And the Samsumana factor and the Dana Koromani factor does not hinge on vice presidency. It does not hinge on tickets. It hinges on their belief in the APC and ensuring that we dialogue with them, we talk to them, let them understand.
Politically, is that not where you're getting it wrong as a party? Taking, for example, Western urban, take Freetown and Kenema to be the same for in putting out strategies. Many people will look at, we're a bit weak in terms of numbers in Kenema. Why not pay more attention and get more votes?
Let me tell you something.
Are your strategies not...
Pope, can I help you with something? This will help you as a party. First of all, why is Kenema not agitating? Right? Why is Kailang not agitating? The question is very clear.
No, the answers are there.
I'm coming.
No, the answers are there.
The likelihood just 1 second, Pope. I completely agree with you that by constitutional provision, even the laws of Sierra Leone does not state where a presidential candidate can come from. It's about competence. They can come from anywhere. Right. And I totally respect that.
Thank you.
Over time, you look at antecedents, and that's very critical in history.
Sure.
You have to look at antecedents and learn. When people have won election, what coalition have won those elections? What combination of people from different parts of the country have won new elections, right? So Kenema, Moyamba, we haven't seen anybody from Kenema coming because the APC knows the best they can do is to get a seat in Kenema, but not necessarily the Kenema votes deciding.
Because they do not have the numerical strength.
There's no numerical strength. The districts where they can mobilize support to give them a numerical strength that is significant in that part of the country is obviously Kono, which is why Kono is on the table for conversation right now.
Right, go ahead.
I want to agree with you that Kono is on the table for conversation. But like we rightly say, for the APC, like I was saying, the answers are there.
What are the answers?
But no, they are difficult to align because like a political pundit or like a political party, you ensure you be very cautious of your statements. I will not come here like doctor is coming out. Doctor will be bold saying it. Whatever I say here might hurt or break our relationship with the Konos. And what the APC is yearning for is ensuring that we keep the relationship with Kono, and there is no tag or there is no law binding that we should keep that relationship by having a vice president coming from Kono. No. Even the SLPP themselves.
But if you are serious about winning
and we are very serious, not just serious. If you say serious, it's an understatement. We are very serious. That is exactly why we have decided to see how best we will boost. You understand? We will boost that which we refer to as a strength in the Western area. If you watch the 2018 result, you will see that there is an increase. There was an increase for the current government in the Western area, which had never been. You understand? But like all what we did in the 2018 elections.
It has never been. President Kaba got that support here.
Yeah, by then where was APC? So you understand? When APC is in the glory of the APC, it has never been. You understand? During the days of President Kaba, you have the UNPP. You understand? So now, there is no tag that it should be Kono. No. I think the Kono should be appreciative of the APC. And it is now time for the Kono to show that we are appreciative of what the APC have done for us.
Why is that?
One, we gave them a vice president.
Which you fired.
You understand? We gave them a vice president.
Which you fired and they were disgruntled.
We gave them more than 4 or 5 ministers. You understand? Which maybe no other district has benefited from. So these are yardsticks for the Konos to know that no matter what it takes, what we've done for them in terms of performance, in terms of tangibles, they are there also, which can be appreciated from the APC. And like I keep saying, for us on this issue, it is difficult as a party, you understand, for us to just bash out the Konos when we know they are important. You understand? Anyone could come and say the Konos are not important. Any other party will say so, but the APC will not say so. The APC will continue to dialogue. The APC will continue to negotiate. The
SLPP appears to be more strategic in getting the votes in Kono than the APC. So you're talking about how the Kono people should be appreciative of what the APC
in 2018
of what the APC has done
really
for
shows
them.
that the results in 2018 really shows that really shows that we do not lose the elections up to 200,000 votes. With that vote is in Gambia.
Let me
also get it. So
allow me to ask this question.
You want to ask a question?
You look at what happened in 2018. Well, even before the 2018 elections, you now have Emerson Lamina, the faction Dr. Tawali talked about, who is disgruntled. He is feeling that the APC cannot be trusted because he was the chairman under your party. I'm coming. And you fired him. And then he went after the former vice president again was fired, and then they teamed up. They formed the C4C.
Sure.
And you look at where the C4C is right now, there is this division even between Emerson Lamina and Chief Sam Sumana.
Thank you.
But again, the sitting mayor has defected. We've seen his defection. We've also seen realignment of these guys to the SLPP. Emerson Lamina is accused of being in bed with the SLPP. And they appear to be making some inroads there. Should that not be a threat for the APC? Looking at and Doc mentioned that the current president has visited Kono. No president has done that.
Yes, I will tell you the issue of the mayor and Emerson Lamina is not a threat. The only thing that will pose a threat to us is the Diana Konomani, the Karamo Kaba, and the Chief Sam Sumana.
They were there, but you lost the 2018 elections.
So it's a clear indication that all we need is for us to go back to them. We requested them to develop more apps in ensuring that we win the Kono. Let them give us Kono. It is their responsibility. That was exactly
to
why.
deliver Kono to you?
Yes, to the APC, because
did you listen to what the people said? Did you listen to
I
them?
listened to them
and their responses.
And I listened to the responses of the people, and that is exactly why I said for us as a party, it is difficult and this is challenging coming to the media defending the issue of Kono. So what the APC is going to do is to go to those leaders, Chief Sam Sumana, is to go to Dana Konomani, is to go to Karamo Kaba, is to tell them that this is exactly what God has destined. In 2018, it was Cherry Coco, and in 2023 again, it is prerogative on the flag bearer to choose whosoever he wants. And now it is a constitutional mandate, just like Doctor have made it clear. When you have a constitutional right, no one has the right to jeopardize it or to dictate to you.
But there are considerations, especially when it comes to politics.
And that is exactly, in those considerations, that is exactly where we've done our calculations, and we've seen it that no one for now is fit for us than Honorable Cheno Ramadan Majuba. So in that particular light, the Dana Konomanis, when we gave them some Sumana, no one complained. We supported it. The other district, they supported. And that is exactly what we expected from the Konos also. If now, it is now time for another district, let them also support based on what we've done for them and based on what they have done for us. It's a continuous process.
One thing we need to do is to take this away from Kono and say, take away the people of Kono and say, what is the best winning coalition? What combination of people that will guarantee us victory?
Based on regions.
Based on, let me come. One second, please. The thing, what people usually do in politics, their job is different from mine. Mine is to analyze, assess political systems, right? And tell you based on theory and evidence, right? His job is far more difficult. His job is to go out there, canvass people, and win elections. What he then needs is what coalition, what combination of human beings, right, will get us victory.
And that is the estimation we've done.
I'm coming, 1 second. The figures are pretty clear. In the last elections, the SLPP was not the beneficiary of the tsunami that took place in Kono. The beneficiary was C4C.
Right.
And so the SLPP did not necessarily benefited from traditional APC voters going somewhere. Right?
Right.
The same happened in Cambia. When NGC took the votes from the APC, SLPP did not necessarily benefit as a result of that. The estimation then of the APC should be, if C4C is disintegrating and NGC is disintegrating, where are they going to? That should be the consideration. Are they coming to us or they are going to other political parties?
We're seeing they're going to the SLPP.
So the C4C that is disintegrating is not expected to come to APC like the MRC Lamina. The MRC Lamina. You all know the MRC Lamina saga and story. You understand?
But what is the APC doing to get those votes? That is what Doc is saying.
No. We look for what we refer to as qualitative votes either. You understand? I am not disputing the personality. I'm coming. Yes.
You don't look for quantity.
No, we look for quality also.
Right.
Quality is key.
In the votes.
Yes, in the votes we look for qualitative.
Go ahead.
You understand? Quantity is key. You understand? But people don't just vote. You understand? People vote based on the personality. And this Kono issue, the APC does not decide running mate of this based on Kono, Cambia, or Kenima, or Bombali. No. You understand? Every part of the country must benefit from the cake. So the APC have deemed it prudent. For 7 years, we have a Kono person. For 3 years, we have a southern person from Bo. You understand? So now let us take it to another region.
Was it strategic, even when Sam Sumana was fired, for Dr. Kuruma to have appointed somebody from the south?
Was
it strategic?
For the APC?
Yes.
It was a governance thing. It was not a party decision. It was a governance decision. That is something you must get in mind. You must bear in mind. It was not an APC decision then. It was a Dr. Kuruma's decision.
Who was the leader and chairman of your party?
It was a government decision. You understand? The president, who has the constitutional mandate to fire, you understand? And also he hires someone whom he deemed fit to serve him. But now for a party, I've just reminded you of our constitution.
Right.
You understand? That gives powers to the flag bearer. So as far as we are concerned, we've looked at the calculations. you understand, of the 2018 elections, and I have just told you about our own conviction that election we did not lose. In as much as the Kono factor is very key, in as much as the Kono factor is very important to us, but we believe this time around, we want to believe that the leadership has taken the right decision having Honorable Cherno Ramadan Majuba. That does not mean all those other contestants were not important. That does not mean Chief Sam Sumana is not important. That does not mean Diana Konomani is not important. That does not mean Karamo Kaba is not important. But the bottom line is, if at a time, you understand, when they were choosing, no one opposed the Kono factor. I think it is more prudent that the Kono also look at it that the APC has given us an opportunity. The APC has given us privileges to serve within their governance and so on and so forth. And now if they have directed leadership in other districts or other regions, I think the Kono...
It's a payback time to the party.
There are complexities in the northern region which I want Pope to understand.
I do.
This will help the party, right? The north is not as homogeneous as the south and the east is.
Agreed.
So if you take away Kono in the eastern region, right, almost all the other tribes in the south and east, they've all converged into one. So the Mendes, the Vai, the Gulas, the Shabro, you hardly hear about them anymore. They've all converged into one, right? So the southeast is a bigger block in terms of its support to the SLPP than the northwest is. And I'll give you an example.
That was then.
If you go to what used to be Kabbalah or Kwenadugu, right? There are several tribes there. The Kurankos are distinct. The Yalunkas, they're all distinct and they are not necessarily APC supporters automatically, right? If you go to Cambia, you have the Sosos, the Limbas, right? No region is as diverse as the northern region. The biggest political blocks in the northern region are 3 districts. These are Tonkolili, Bombali, and Putloko. Recently with Karine. Karine is a cut from Putloko and a cut from Bombali. Apart from those 4 districts, the APC will struggle. They have to fight significantly. You know, the data is here.
Right.
Falaba was almost 50-50 in the last elections. Kwenadugu was almost 50-50. What the APC needs to do is to put context into figures and analyze, these were the figures. Can we analyze them? Where will we improve our votes? The SLPP has done this, and they've seen a path in 3 districts. I'll tell you, in 3 districts. Path number 1. Let's go and create trouble in Kono. The president has been there 5 times, right? Julde has technically moved to Putloko, right? If they get 15-20% of the votes in Putloko, that's big enough, right? Cambia, we are bringing KKY to ensure he becomes... The good thing, the advantage they have in Cambia, it does not necessarily translate that taking KKY will mean all the votes will come. But they have to have a coalition in Cambia. The APC needs to have a coalition in Cambia that is good enough to convince people. The same coalition that they need. It's all not gloom and doom. But I tell you, we will not be sitting here if the consideration, and this is why I want the APC to understand and just stop some bit of, I keep the word I want to use.
Go ahead.
The truth is, AYV will not be discussing this
if it's not important.
If it's not critical to your path to victory, which is why we're discussing it.
Right.
Kono is a critical path to the APC's victory, and how the APC manages that is fundamental. My point is simple and straightforward. Had they had a Kono person in the ticket, this discussion would not have been here.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I think, like you said, the Kono issue is very critical, and if it had not been, we'll not discuss it. We agree. But also, it's a provoked discussion by AYV, and we also appreciate you. You understand? And
those people did not consult AYV when they were coming from Kono.
Exactly.
They never consulted AYV. They came on their own.
I'm coming.
It's not necessarily provoked by AYV.
Go ahead.
I'm coming. You understand?
Go ahead, Pope.
It is about the impact. Whether Julde shifts his position to Putloko, that's not important. It's about the impact. And as far as we are concerned, we've calculated his impact. It's not that much. You understand? And we talked about you talk about homogeneous.
Yes.
For the southeast. not comparable to the North. Not now. Not now that they are suffering. Not now that things are becoming more difficult than before. So not now that they have been promised with failed criteria.
Hold on.
When it was President Kaba, you understand, he did well. More than what this particular government has done.
The APC got 5% of the votes in Bonth the last time. They got 7% in Pujol, right? Let's be honest with it. I'm coming.
Yes,
hold on. Just hold on.
Do you know whose calculation was that? It was the Umfali's calculation, which rounded up to 100.3%. It was a failed calculation. Our own calculation was different from what Umfali gave. You understand? And like I said, it's simply because we had wanted to maintain the peace, because Umfali himself knew. You understand? He was not, he did not play justice to the APC and to the people of this country. So that calculation that you want, those figures you want to make mention of. So we are the Umfali's figures.
Okay, let's take that argument from you. The facts are there. By today's calculation, before going to Theo.
Yes.
By today's calculation, right? If you take the 2018 votes and translate them to 2023, the only districts the APC will win seats will be Kono and Moemba. It will be 1 seat each, as per the PR system. The APC has to be very careful about ramping up votes, slightly stop being defensive, go and walk the talk. Hold on, who are the key actors in this district that we need to build a strong campaign and build a coalition?
Pope, John, before I quickly bring in Theo, are you basing your strength on the current economic situation in the country? What are you basing your strength on in winning the June 24th elections?
We keep saying winning an election does not come from one sequence. You look at all the sequence on the table, and you look at your own political calculations. So as far as we are concerned, we have our margins. We've seen them. They are not for public consumption because it is political, and economic issues are involved, governance issues are involved, constitutional bastardizational issues are involved. You understand? Human rights violations are involved.
So the tickets of the candidates do not necessarily.
You understand? And if it is for the tickets for
integral role?
The tickets for the candidates, I think we have the best.
Okay.
We have Dr. Samura Kamara and we have Honorable Cheno Ramadan Majuba, and we know that particular ticket is a winning ticket, and we are looking forward to working the margins around them to ensure victory.
Theo, you've listened to the Kono people. And you also listened to when Diana and Sam responded to the Kono people. Now, what do you think the Kono people at this point make of the decision for them, they feel like they're out. They've been left out. They've been neglected. They've not been taken into consideration by the APC, leaving out Diana, leaving out Sam Sumana, and Samura Kamara choosing Cherry Kuku.
Okay, so like I said earlier, Sam Sumana was actually disqualified
from contesting,
given the fact that he only resigned from the C4C in 2020 to rejoin the APC. So technically, I mean, he's not qualified to have been made a flag bearer for the APC. And for Diana Konomani, I mean, excuse me, I want to say that she's not a presidential material.
Why is that?
It's the fact.
What are your pointers?
No, it's the fact. It's the fact of the matter.
What are some of the...
Diana Konomani is not a presidential material. I mean, you see, the problem Sierra Leone faces, the problems are so enormous that you cannot expect any Jack and Jill to just come and say, I want to be president of Sierra Leone. It's unacceptable.
Do you refer to a woman who has served as minister?
I was just going to say she served in some of the most critical...
I'm just want to know.
No, I'm saying,
Theo, Diana has served in one of the most critical and crucial ministries.
What is your measurement of presidential material? I just want to know.
Yes, you're entitled to your opinions, but we just want you to help us. Why are you forming that opinion? On what grounds?
No, I can tell you, what I said is that, in my view, Diana Konomani is not a presidential material.
First of all, being a woman, is that not a selling point?
I'm not talking about a woman here, my brother.
No, I know. I'm just looking at the cards that are on the table.
Let us talk,
the gender card is also on the table.
Let us talk facts. We are not
I
talking
don't
gender
understand
here.
where you're coming from. I just want to know. I think anybody.
We are not talking gender here.
Let's allow you to make your point. Let's allow you to make your point.
Let's
allow.
It's the fact.
Theo, make your points.
I think that's slightly sad.
You have other people.
Yeah.
You see, when
Let's
you
allow
ask
you
me,
make your point.
you say if I wanted, if I don't want to name names,
Go
I say
ahead.
no.
Go ahead. Let's allow you make your
obvious
point. Let's
reasons,
see.
I could name no more names that were in that presidential list, candidate list that are not far from being presidential materials.
So
let's face it.
So what
right?
do you
So
what do you consider? What do you consider in a person to be a presidential material?
A presidential material is a serious candidate.
And Diana is not a serious candidate?
No, I would say, it might be, yes, she's not.
Why would you say that?
For obvious reasons.
I
said it already. She is not a. We are not discussing her. I don't want her to be the subject matter.
Serious claim.
I don't want her to be the subject matter now. I don't want her to be
serious.
I only mentioned that in passing.
We need some clarification.
I only mentioned that in passing. And me, I am very factual, right? Yeah.
But you have not used any
facts here. When you accuse, you have to provide reasons.
I don't want to start to go into all of that. So I gotta stick.
You rather not say the point. You should have done it so that would have been better.
No.
I feel every Sierra Leonean who does not have a criminal case is a potential candidate for the highest office in the land.
I know what I'm saying, my brother.
And to come back to say...
So we want to know. We want to know what you're saying.
I don't know them, but to come back with the statement that it's not the presidential material, I think that's slightly derogatory.
It is by night, so I was going to make my point.
I'll give you definitely. Let's just give him a second.
You understand? We take exception to what he just made mention of.
To what Theo just said.
Yes.
It's up to you.
Understand?
Yeah.
No, that particular view of yours we will not respect. In as much as we respect people's view.
Mind you, I'm a cornerman. I'm a cornerman.
By the way, that is why you're invited.
I'm a cornerman.
That's exactly why
So I know exactly what I'm saying.
That's why I said we take exception to that, and that particular view is not respected. Because the truth of the matter is, when you look at the way and manner Diana Konomani has comported herself, right from 2007.
You should have made that your running mate then.
I'm coming.
Please give me a break.
I'm coming. You understand? The way she has comported herself, and even now when we are in opposition, she has been very exceptional. So for us to say, for him to say, it is not a presidential material, I think we take exception to that.
Okay, for you.
Because the laws of this country has never barred him. You understand? No law. No, the laws of this country has never barred her. You understand? From contesting that will disqualify him from being a presidential material.
Right.
She has comported herself. So for the APC, we respected Diana Konomani.
Okay.
We know very well that she's one of those women worthy of representing the APC.
So let me ask.
Yes, we did not make her. It's simply because, like I said, I quoted the gospel of faith.
Allow me to ask.
and destiny.
Allow me to ask.
You understand?
The question. Let Theo make her.
She was not destined to be.
Allow Theo to make his submission. Okay. So Theo, let me ask this question. There are things you know of. I mean, according to your submission, that some people are not fit for purpose. But when you say this bottle of water is not pure, there should be some reasons.
Let me call her name.
Go ahead.
Can you also say Alhaji Kemosi say it's a presidential material?
Is it not?
He's far from being.
Why?
He's far from being.
Why?
This is what I'm saying. Where we are as a nation is so crucial that we don't need to be sentimental. I mean, it just say, because this person is coming from Kono.
I think it's also sweeping and slightly disrespectful,
right,
to say someone is not a presidential material when you have not substantiated that.
But the fact on the table.
Let them for us bear. Let those facts for us.
We are not discussing them. That's the point.
Just mentioned.
If we are here to discuss them,
I think you have a responsibility to say these are not your views.
Yes, obviously.
I made it clear that they are my views. I made it very clear.
But so
they're my personal view.
So
based on fact.
So Theo, what would no? I'm coming. What would love to submit? I'm coming. Pope.
I know you are coming.
I'm coming. Let me
Please
quickly.
let him moderate. Please let him moderate.
Allow me.
I also have what
let him
it takes
moderate.
to
Allow
protect
me.
members of my party.
Pope.
For someone
You're invited here by AYV.
Thank you.
So would you allow me to make my points? Please allow me. So Theo, the point we're trying to establish here is when we make submission, we should be able, or when we make claims, we should be able to substantiate
Yes,
them,
of course.
so that we guide and we inform the audience. And so, but if we know we cannot substantiate them, then it's better we do not say them at all, because at the end of the day, they sound disrespectful and derogatory to the individuals.
Not at
And
all.
AYV would not love to be part
This
of
is not the opinion
part
of
that
AYV,
at all.
please.
I know this is your opinion.
We are coming
I
here
agree.
from
But
individual
just help us.
perspectives.
Just help us.
We are coming here from
substantiate
individual
those claims if you can.
perspectives.
And if you cannot, maybe you
Go to
don't make them at all.
Kono and ask the people, is Diana Konomani
You're coming from Kono.
fit for president?
You're coming from Kono, Theo.
They will tell you no.
That is why you're here.
They will tell you no.
Why?
They will tell you no. She lacks what it takes. She lacks what it takes.
I still consider this as an attack to our party.
No,
That's why
this is the point I'm
when you
saying.
come in,
Yes.
you understand?
Yes. Gentlemen,
And
I have.
if you look at Honorable Kemosi say,
Yes.
he has been a
Come
honorable
on,
member
come
And
on,
a
please.
government minister.
Please give me a break on that.
and he has been a
Please
government
give me a break.
minister, you understand?
I'm speaking for myself.
And as far as we are concerned, you
Yeah.
understand? These are personalities that Theo cannot give any evidence of.
You want me to talk about? You want me to talk about?
Yes, you can.
Okay,
talk about
gentlemen.
Kemo.
So
you want me to talk about Kemo?
what we're going to do, gentlemen,
You
let's
don't-
avoid the
no, I don't want you
personality.
to talk about
Let's
Kemo.
avoid the
That's what I'm
personality
saying.
talk.
Because you don't have what to talk about, something to say about
Pope, let's
Kemo.
avoid the personality talk.
You understand?
Let's avoid
So
the
now,
personality
But
let
it's
me-
an attack to
let me go to the
us.
substantive issue,
And
please.
I think AYV must do something in that direction.
I
Because
think
an
we've
attack
made it,
on
women. I think we've made
It
it
is
very
my
clear.
opinion.
Your
We've made it
opinion
clear.
on women-
Forget about women.
You understand?
We're not
It's
talking
sarcasm.
women here.
Pope,
I also mentioned a man.
we've made it clear here that we will
I also
not,
mentioned a man.
we will
They
not
must say-
tolerate and we do not subscribe to those views.
Exactly.
We've made it very
They are
clear
my personal
here.
views.
So let me quickly allow you to
And
finish
when they
your
are not
submission.
substantiated,
You
I
don't
think
say them.
No,
You
but
take them
I've
back.
made my
Yes,
point. No.
you will join
But
us. I will
doctor,
join us.
doctor, I made my
Yes,
point.
I'm coming.
Go to Kono and ask the people.
And I am
Go
here
to Kono and ask the
for the
people.
fact that he cannot provide
Go to
evidence
Poloko and
on
ask the
that
people.
substantive
It is not
evidence.
enough.
I think
Go to them and ask them.
Pope.
It would be nice if we would go.
I am from Butloko.
No, I will not.
Yes.
I am from Butloko.
Yes, sure.
I can't come back and say this person, I will not even call names.
Right.
It's not a presidential material. When he doesn't have a criminal record, when he has not been barred from holding public office, because I think certain people on Butloko
You don't have
feel
to-
so. But
Doctor,
the
it don't
point
have
is,
to be
I'm
about
coming-
criminal
Theo,
record,
Theo,
yeah.
Theo, you are a journalist.
You
a
look
man
at the
I have-
person. You look at the
I'm
person.
Coming, I'm coming. Can I finish? You are a journalist. I have tremendous respect for you. When you say things, you have to
So
justify.
I speak,
justify.
but
And if you make
And
this
if I
very
cannot-
very big statement about people who have served Sierra Leone
Yeah.
and you don't have evidence,
You take them back.
It's not proper.
All right.
They serve Sierra Leone in a failed regime, I should say. You want me to say that?
Theo.
In a failed regime.
Theo.
In a failed regime.
Theo, what would the Kono votes and the Cambia votes mean for either of the two
So let me
parties?
talk about the Kono votes, right? Because I'm coming from Kono.
Right.
I will talk about the Kono votes, right? The Kono votes is as crucial as anything. And Doctor made the point very clearly that the Kono and Cambia votes count a lot. Right now, as we speak, President Bio, do you know he is in Kono right now even? He's right now in Kono. He's taking advantage of the loopholes in the APC. Right? He's taking great advantage of that. He's right. He went to Kono yesterday, he slept there, and he's there today. He's sleeping there again today. I'm not saying that will translate into anything because as far as I'm concerned, the Kono people are yet to fully decide as to what to do.
We've seen some already
C4C
taking sides.
C4C stance.
But the city mayor of C4C has taken as
He's an
defected.
individual. He made his action.
Councillors also defected.
His action came in hastily. At a time when the councils were closed prematurely. They were closed prematurely, I will tell you. Right? So, his action came in at a time when the Kono people have not decided wholesomely.
But he has.
I will tell you that C4C stands. Right? C4C stands.
Where is C4C? Let me ask this question. Where is C4C? I'm going back. The court injuncted C4C.
Yeah.
banning everybody from conducting or participating in any party activities for the longest of time.
Okay.
And we saw Sam Sumana resigning from the party. We saw the fight even in parliament amongst the MPs representing C4C, the MRC faction and the Sir Charles faction in parliament. I think they had this 4-4 division in parliament.
Maybe 5-3.
And over time, we've seen how things have panned out. You have members of the C4C in the diaspora who've taken the party to court here and there, and they're fighting even which party office to use, whether Congo Cross or Campbell Street. There's that deep-rooted feud amongst members of the party. Very recently, we've seen the courts giving clearance. The party must conduct its delegate conference within a certain period. And we've not seen any form of preparation. In fact, I received a call from one of the diaspora members that, who is going to do this, who's going to do that? So there is still that infight. So where is C4C in all of this?
So as far as I know, the C4C are presently busy with their lower level elections, right? And according to what I know,
disintegrated
they are
manner?
also. Well, I don't know.
Are they not disorganized?
Well, they are. The exit of Sam Sumana created a serious blow to the C4C, right?
Is it just Sam Sumana? Even the party's chairman, Tamba Sandi.
No, Tamba Sandi.
Yes.
Tamba Sandi is always where Sam Sumana is.
And he was the chairman.
Yes, of course. But I will tell you that, if right now,
so when you say C4C
the most prominent cornerman, the most prominent cornerman is Sam Sumana. He's the most prominent cornerman.
Agreed. And he's
right? And all these people Pope was mentioning, the Dana Konomanis, the Kamakabas, they were the ones who were stabbing Sam Sumana in the back. They were the ones who supported. I'm telling you, it's the fact. You see, doctor, you are shaking your head, but it's the fact. It's the fact I'm saying.
My problem with you, Phil, is
yes, sir.
When you're a journalist and you're when you are so much respected,
yes,
you try not to make statements that are not evidential.
But this is evidential, doctor. No, it's evidential. Even Pop knows.
Give me the
Even Pop knows. You don't know.
I am not aware.
You don't make statements.
Please, we don't have to be critical here. We don't have to be critical here.
So
I'll say the fact. So right now,
yes, go ahead.
So right now, I will tell you.
I am not aware.
I will tell you what is obtaining in Kono right now with the heavy push the SPP is making. It is very likely. It's very likely that the SPP might carry up to 30% of the presidential votes. Right?
30%.
It is very likely.
Yeah, we are going to have a
Why the APC?
Will get majority of the votes?
No. The APC is like to have 20%.
And which party gets?
The APC is not going to make.
Gets?
The APC is not going to make a major headway in Kono.
So 50% goes to.
No, I will tell you. The 50% goes back to C4C.
Do you think there will be a C4C?
The C4C is maintaining 50%.
Is C4C alive?
It's gone.
Very well alive.
Why is C4C?
From my indication.
Why is C4C?
From what I know. From what I know, like I tell you right now, they are busy with their lower level elections, and very soon I'm sure they will announce a date for their convention. Whatever comes up there, we don't know. But
can I quickly jog your memory? You know, when former president, some former vice president Sam Sumana returned, and I had the privilege to host him. I hosted him.
Okay.
And I asked him about his political ambition and which political party he was going to, because he told me clearly in that interview that he was going to contest as a presidential candidate.
Okay.
And every option for him was on the table, with the exception of going back to the APC. But then we saw he contested for the presidency and the ticket of the C4C. After, we saw him bowing out of the C4C because he wanted to go back to the APC. The APC, he told me, was never an option for him again because they kicked him out of the party. But then he wrote a letter requesting for him to be admitted back at the APC, in the APC and all of that. And that's brought about the demise of the C4C in many political sense.
Okay.
For many political pundits as well. That brought about the demise of the C4C. And since his departure, it's just been fighting, and people leaving the party. I mean,
so let me tell you,
parties.
It's,
So
just the way and manner in which Sam Sumana left the C4C. But Sam Sumana will never become president of Sierra Leone under the C4C tickets. Because mind you, the C4C, I would say, is a district party. And for you to be president, you have to go national. So Sam Sumana would never have won the presidency of this country under the ticket of C4C. No other person. Not even Sam Sumana. But any
let's
other
talk about
person.
the Cambia votes.
So,
how important is the Cambia vote?
The Cambia votes. I see the Cambia votes as also being very, very delicate. And like Doctor said, it is very likely that the APC will have more advantage there than the SLPP. But for Kono, the SLPP is likely to have more advantage than the APC. But I will tell you, the majority of the Kono people will vote for C4C under whatever circumstance. So forget about the mayor who went, forget about the councillors who went, forget about any other thing.
The numbers do not count? The numbers do not count?
No, the number counts, of course. Number counts. That was why when Pope was talking about quality, I shook my head talking about quality, because politics is all about number, be it quality or not
so
quality.
So why are you ignoring the defections of the mayor, the councillors, and other people to the SLPP?
As far as I'm concerned, they are not so significant at the moment. Because the Kono people are yet to decide.
The mayor won the election.
The Kono people, did the mayor move with the Kono people? No, he did not move with the Kono people.
Okay.
He did not.
Let me quickly allow you so I can just have a bite from, yes.
To Theo just now, he said Sam Sumana is, I want to quote you directly,
the most powerful Kono man right now. The most powerful
Sam
Kono man.
Sumana is the most powerful Kono man.
Yes.
And in real terms, what he is saying is that wherever Sam Sumana decided to go as the most powerful man, the Kono people follow him. And
I did not say so.
No, I'm saying...
You are interpreting his...
Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
Yes, go ahead.
And if that is so, then the APC is hopeful. You understand?
That you get the Kono vote.
You understand that now, with Sam Sumana, the APC is getting the Kono vote.
Okay.
And it is clear now that even political pundits, analysts, you understand, not the politicians like us, have agreed that based on the demise of NGC...
A political pundit whose view you disagreed with when he made a statement that did not sit well with you.
Well, that's the political platform that we are sharing.
Go ahead.
You understand? That's the political platform we are sharing, wherein we agree to disagree.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You understand? And we disagree to agree at the same time. They have also made it very clear that the APC will get the Cambia vote based on the demise of NGC. So looking at all these indications, you see, we are very more careful. And we are very
But from Doc, there was a caveat. The force must be strong, the combination must be stronger.
I want to respect the caveat. I want to respect, because like I said, people's view will respect, except views that cannot be catered for with evidence. You understand? That's the view that we don't respect. As a party, the APC, if you watch keenly, for this debate, is a very challenging one and a very difficult one. It is not based on fear, because as a party, at the moment, our concentration when it comes
fear
to...
in what sense?
You understand? You understand?
Fear in what sense? That the topic does not favor you?
No,
your party? Is that what you're saying?
Neither the topic is not against us, because it's an opportunity for me to share the views of the party to the Konos.
Continue.
That the Konos are very important people. And the Konos are people who believes in what we refer to as leadership. They have their own generational leadership. And their generational leader at this particular point in time, what they say is around Sam Sumana, Dana, the Logus Koroma, the Kamo Kabas. You understand? And these four people that I have highlighted, you understand, who are their leaders, are now APC members. You understand? And they believe in the ideologies of the APC. In as much as they have the interest of their people I think the interest of their people, they will better advocate it during these difficult and challenging times. And we want to tell the Kono people that you are very important. We are not neglecting you. You understand? We are not despising you. It's only that this time around, leadership has called for Cherry Cocoa. Let us give them the chance. Let us give them the try. The Konos always have a stake when it comes to APC. If you have a take when it comes to the APC, we are proud of you and we love you and we like you. So we'll continue in that direction. We are behind the scene, working on the dialogue, working on the phases that will go to Kono, and let's see how best we dialogue. It should not be hook, line, and sinker that it must be Kono. You understand? If you have benefited at a particular point in time, we want to see another district benefiting, just like we move along. Like you said, he said, Sam Sumana will not be president under C4C. We don't know what the future has.
So you agree with that?
Yeah?
So you agree with that?
I agree with that.
So you have to agree with all what I said. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I said. We agree to disagree.
I'm not the type of guy who just talk for talk's sake.
We agree to disagree.
I don't talk for talk's sake.
When you say something that I must disagree with, I will have to. You understand? Just like if I should say something that you want to disagree with, you have to.
Gentlemen, let's not forget we're talking to the public.
Tamzano will not be president to C4C, but he does know what the future has for him in the APC. So let us come, let us support the Samora Cherry Cocoa ticket, and let's see what the future has in stores for everybody in the APC.
Doc,
so we are looking forward to the cooperation of the Konos.
The track's been laid to securing political power, both from the APC and the SLPP at this time. Who sits comfortably, to actually gain from what is happening in Kono, the politics, and the Kambia politics?
The same question.
I want to be very honest with all the political parties. And I will emphasize again, I hope Pope and his team listen. I said they clouded their path to victory. Considering the context, it was my thinking as a political scientist that the APC had a clear path to victory. The choice of a presidential candidate and the reaction that have come from Kono are very threatening and worrying, right? Which is why the APC has a responsibility to get the Kono issue sorted ASAP.
I agree. Thank you.
And one of the ways to getting that sorted is the party needs to come from the brink and realize that whilst I can sit here and talk, their responsibility is to win votes. Right? And the way of winning votes is to get the people who will get you the votes. And I feel the leadership provided by Diana at a time when the APC was in a very serious challenge, right? And don't forget, until 2020, or is it 2020, Chief Sam Sumana was still at C4C. And the only leader the APC had in Kono throughout this turbulent period was Diana.
Sure.
And she has provided that consistent leadership for the party. Beautiful. Chief Sam Sumana came in. He's joined the party. He's realized that, and this is what I want to say to the Kono people. I don't want to call it a tribal, a district level party to plagiarize Theophilus, a son from Kono, does not give you victory. The same with NGC. When you have a district-based party that does not have the national spread, you can be angry as much as you like in Kono. You can be disappointed with everybody as much as you like. The Kono people have to be very strategic. The strategic position they have to take, where does our chances lie more between the two political parties?
Exactly.
And when they make that assessment, and that's the point they need to do. For the APC, again, I emphasize the choice of a running mate and the backlash that has generated is not good for them. It does not put them in a very good footing currently in Kono. Is that the end of the road? Not necessarily. They should go and look for Chief Sam Sumana and Madam Finda.
I was just going to ask if the relationship between Sam Sumana and Samora Kamara can help the APC in Kono.
It can, but two things they need to do.
Which are?
What the Kono people have realized lately is the fact that if Diana and Chief Sam Sumana continue to have disagreement and they're all in the same political party, it is not going to help the Kono cause. And they realize that slightly too late, but it's better to be late than never, right? And they realize that and decided to come to work together. That is a very powerful force. Everybody within the APC should first of all stop the arrogance and respect that force. That is very critical, and bring it together. I promise you, if Diana and Chief Sam Sumana take a tour today to Kono and reach out to their people, the dynamics will change quite significantly in Kono. And what the APC needs in Kono is a sizable proportion of the votes. They don't need to have 60% of the votes. If the APC can get 50%, 45% of the votes in Kono, that's a very good footing. Go back to Cambia to answer the second part of your question.
Before you move to the second part, let me take you back to the first part you've just answered.
Okay.
You know, as you talk about Diana and Sam Sumana making a tour, Kono and see all of that, from the video that we played earlier, Diana Konomani say, answer good day, una wait for Willow Godogwe inquiries. So that can be interpreted as they themselves not being okay with the decision.
They are not.
They're not happy.
It's obviously.
They are not. So how would that sit with them?
All right. So this is how politics is, right? And I agree with Pope on a couple of things. And I have to emphasize again, as a political scientist, the winning coalition, I disagree with the winning coalition. I have provided evidence. Over time, when President Kouma appointed a Fula, right, who is from a Northwestern extraction, in 2002, he lost. The 2018 elections, a Northerner and a Fula from Northwestern extraction, they lost. President Bio is a Southerner and appointed a Fula of Northwestern extraction, and they won the election. Consistently, the evidence is there, so which is why I disagree with that ticket. So go back to Diana and Sam. The facts are there. Diana was up and down Kono district, mobilizing support in the lower level election. He stood by Dr. Samura, and she got almost all the delegates for Dr. Samura, right? Kono, and this is why I disagree slightly with him. I have disagreed on a couple of things, but there are a few things that I agree with him. Kono is slightly a very geroncratic society. It's a society that believes in male leadership. Kono believes that largely, the man for lead. So a good number of the old folks in rural communities, when he says Chief Alhaji Sam Sumana is the leader, I think that's where he's coming from. So they are absolutely disappointed with that decision. But politics comes with disappointment. It is how you manage, right? President Bio was very smart in keeping back Vice President Jules Jallo. Do you think there are no other aspirants? There were. KKY was equally considered. He was interested, right? But he took a decision. What coalition that will win me the elections today? And that's the most important thing. What combination of human beings that will win me elections? It's not about what I say. It's about what coalition that will win the APC the next election. And I feel this current coalition makes that path slightly difficult. So Chief Sam Sumana is disappointed, Diana Konomani is disappointed, and by that video, the entire people of Kono are disappointed. But is that the end of the road? I think no.
Of course not.
That is not the end of the road. It is now the responsibility of the leadership of the APC to find these leaders of Kono, wherever they are. The good thing is, these are people who have emotional attachment to the APC than the SLPP. I bet you the SLPP is looking for Chief Sam Sumana and is looking for Diana. If they can get them, they will get them now. but I have a feeling they will not go SLPP. So what the APC needs to do is to get them and get them in a more sincere and dedicated manner to lead the campaign.
Is should it be the fear of the APC to lose them or to have them and they do not participate in the
if they come without a commitment, it might as well, it means nothing. So it means a hardcore commitment to the party and taking leadership in the campaign in a very serious way. Listen, there can be deals. There can be deals. I can only speculate. I have no evidence that KKY is moving on two things.
Which are?
Rational choice and hope. The rational choice is he realizes it's expensive to run a political party. He's a member of parliament. The bills are piling up. Visiting Cambia might even cost him maybe 50,000 old new Leones. maybe 50 million old loans just for one visit. The money is not coming. He may be deep into his old pocket and his savings from the UN to run a political party. That is not sustainable financially. And he knows NGC can't make him president. So what is rational to do if he wants to be president and he has a presidential ambition is to go back to the SLPP, which is what he's done. What keeps him there now that President Bio has confirmed Julio Jallo as his running mate? Who knows? No worry, brah. We'll run this one, maybe 2028. Now you.
Would it be easy? Would it be?
It's possible. There's a promise like that. Say, listen, let's run this. We'll make you a minister. 2028, it will be your turn. Politics deals are made.
So that is what I want to ask.
The responsibility of the APC is go out there now and make those deals.
That is what I want to ask quickly as we wrap up. I mean, looking at how it's been done over time, where either you vice president or running mate would always look forward to succeeding their bosses. So, Sam, if even Samura doesn't win the June 24th elections, Chaikoko is hopeful that if there is no Samura Kamara, his interest would then go for the #1 position.
Well, the evidence shows that in the history of Sierra Leone, a vice president has never succeeded his or her boss as president. Go back from the days of Shaka Stevens.
Right.
Now, even when Sir Milton was prime minister, there is no deputy prime minister. But the senior most minister was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, John K.
But has that not gotten the parties out of power?
They've gotten them out of power, but they don't necessarily mean Sam Sumana can be the next. If the APC does not win, I know Pope will feel like giving me a hit. But if the APC loses
the June
24th elections, that field is open. Dr. Samura Kamara will be largely an older man by then, and I don't see him. This is my view. I don't see he can be.
I support you.
I don't see him maybe running in another 5 years. If he's president, fine, he can do 10 years. But if he's not president, maybe I doubt if he will have the energy. That field is open for Chaikoko. The field is open for Chief Sam Sumana.
Yeah, sure.
So I feel, as a way of resolving and going forward for Pope and his people, is to go after Diana wherever she is, with respect and humility. Go after Chief Sam Sumana wherever he is, with respect and humility. Let's sit. Politics is about dialogue. It's about give and take. It's when we have that dialogue and give and take that allow the APC to begin to talk. Listen, one thing that will allow you to learn is to, after this victory, stop all the mentality, the winning mentality. We don't win. Whether you are NRM, whether you were Big 6 or Big 10 or Big 20, every vote now. You mentioned Kemo.
Counts.
Kemo Sise might be physically challenged.
Okay.
But he's perhaps the greatest politician I've seen in Potloko district after Koma.
Okay.
He's a mobilizer. He's a strong politician.
Okay.
Don't discount him with respect.
No,
Don't discount him.
Right.
The APC
my point.
The APC need all of those people to mobilize support, even in their stronghold, to ensure people turn out to vote.
Right.
And they win with handsome numbers.
Right.
When they do, the chances of winning elections are there.
Phil, quickly, in 2 minutes.
Yes, please.
Your party is short, but I want to ask, what should the APC do at this point to be able to consolidate what they, at the time in 2018, felt like they have in Kono, or better, try to see if they can push more and get more?
So, like Doctor said, if we are focusing only on Kono, I mean, having the likes of Sam Sumana, I mean, and the rest, Diana Konamani and others, on the forefront to lead the campaign. I mean, even though it will not guarantee the APC of having, I mean, the majority votes out there, but they will be able to have a significant proportion of votes. Yeah, that is what I can say.
Right.
Yeah, because it is only for Sam Sumana to go to Kono. Yes, SCB people them, I don't come home. It just need to explain to the people, because what has happened is that the majority of the Kono people do not have the clear understanding as to why Sam Sumana was not made the flag bearer. They are just thinking that they don't let you out. It's not about leaving them out. It's about the fact of the matter. The APC constitution says you should have a continuous membership.
Do you think that's a message
For 5
Sam will
years.
take to his people?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not Samsumana.
Sam can be very hopeful.
Yes.
And say to his people,
Yes,
listen,
exactly.
we are no side, we
He
don't
doesn't need
go
to
at the
explain
party.
to them.
And it says 5 years, even for the running mate. I personally feel, I might be wrong, correct me, Pope, if I'm wrong, that it will have been difficult to make Chief Samsumana running mate.
Yes.
Because I think the same 5-year clause apply for the running
That's what
mate
I'm
as
saying.
well. He can reach out with a
the
hopeful
Kono
message.
people should be explained to the Kono people that Samsumana was not just kicked in the corner. Had the APC wanted to help Samsumana, they would have removed that clause that talks about continuous membership for 5 years.
Okay.
Yes, because I can tell you, you put Samsumana and Samuel Kamara for the next coming election, I think Samsumana would have been a better candidate.
All right.
Yes.
So Pope, with all of this, I mean, the
It's
talk
my
now
opinion.
is
It's my
how do you
opinion.
get Samsumana to take that message?
Like you
But
said,
is Samsumana happy right now with the decision?
well, in truth, I will not be able to determine his state of mind.
Have you reached out as a
You
party?
understand? As a party, yes, we are reaching out.
Since the selection of
Yes, we are reaching out,
Kuku.
and we are banking on it. Reaching out, you understand? That is exactly why this discourse, you will sense that the APC is very humble in ensuring that we select our words, we select whatever we say.
You have to be humbler with the people of Ghana.
You understand? Yeah, you understand?
More than humble.
We will not just come and bash the Kono people as if as they are not important when we know they are important.
Do it and see
You
the
understand?
results.
You understand? So all we are saying to the Konos, we keep saying, you understand? For us, it is just destined. It's not because the Kono factor is not important. As a party, to the APC, the Konos are very important. To the leadership of both Chief Alhaji Samsumana, to the leadership of Madam Diana Konomani, Karmo Kabalu, Skoruma, and all the others, including those grassroots, the APC has them at a very high esteem. And that will be our message. For the fact that it has to do with Kono, our message, we are humble and we will not contest them into any argument. Let them accept fate. This one is just testing that I ran with Honorable Cheno Ramadan Majuba, and as a party, want to give them another opportunity again. Maybe tomorrow, we don't know. It might be Logus Koroma. Tomorrow, we don't know. It might be Dana. Tomorrow, we don't know. It might be... I don't want to rush. You understand?
Take your time.
It might be Theo.
No, he's not a presidential material right now.
You understand? All right. So, our message to the Kono people, please
Thank you.
Stay focused, stay
Thank
resilient,
you.
stay resolved. The
Thank
APC
you,
is
thank
coming
you.
and we are reaching
Thank
out.
you very much. Thank you very much. We also need to, we please want to let our audience understand and know that we completely dissociate ourselves from.
It is my position.
Yes,
and I
we
hold tight to
respect it.
I
We
hold
respect
tight.
it. We respect it. And
Even
we
when Doctor was saying,
ourselves
he
from
said
that
the
statement
SFP made
to
a strategic decision to maintain Joel
Joel
there.
there, right.
Let him give us reasons for that strategic decision.
Yeah.
He will not mention the
time will
full
not permit us to go into that right now.
He will not mention the full aspect.
Time will not permit us
But
to
it is
go.
crucial.
Time will not permit us to go
But
through
it's
that.
crucial.
Thank you very much, Theophilus
Doctor, you know that.
Sagbenda. It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much, Mohammed Pope Kamara.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Idris Mahmoud Tawali. It's been a pleasure having all three of you here, gentlemen. And this is where we end tonight's program. But don't forget, on our local channel, a repeat comes up on Thursday, 10 p.m. For those of you who've watched us on DSTV channel 399, local channel 33, listen to us on FM 101.7 and follow us on all our different social media platforms. Again, I have to apologize for not going through your messages on Facebook. They were more political and branding us, by the way. Today, I'm being branded SLPP. The good thing about being doing what we know how to do best. But thank you very much. Until then, the show has been AYV on Sunday. My name is Samuel Weisbanger, and up next is our AYV Primetime News. Until then, take care of yourself and have a lovely night.